Hello, my name is Justin. Welcome to Monks Meadery. We're Georgia's first meadery. Mead is fermented honey, and it is the oldest form of alcohol. We even think that it might predate agriculture. So at the simplest level, it's just fermented honey and water. I got interested in mead a long time ago. I started off as a home brewer. So me and friends were making different beers, and in the back of every beer brewing book, there's a chapter on mead. And none of us had never tried a commercial mead before. I'm gonna date myself a little bit, so this is probably 2000, 2001, and we just thought, hey, we'll give it a shot and make it. You know, our first batch, we liked it and kind of kept it in rotation. And then years later, we thought that there would be an opportunity to reintroduce this new or this old beverage back as a new product in the market, and we saw an opportunity. I think what's fascinating about mead is that it has all this history and lore, and brands are trying to create that in a product that they're selling, and this stuff just exists. Mead is credited with being responsible for the word honeymoon, and so there's just so many fun little crazy things that go on with mead that I thought this is something I want to be a part of. Every culture on every continent has a history of making mead in some form or fashion, right? I think the most famous are probably the Vikings, but the Chinese made mead. In Africa, the Ethiopians are known for a product called tej, which is a form of mead. So it existed everywhere. We are making all of our mead at our facility, which is inside Southern Brewing Company in Athens. So we operate with them very closely, and we're in the process of getting a second location where we'll be able to do barrel aging, some more packaging, final blends, a bunch of fun new things, as well as we'll have a tap room there where we'll be able to showcase the new things that we're making there, which is going to be awesome. Yeah, so what do you think we should do first? I think we should do fruit first, honey second, and then we'll move to the tea. Because I think the fruit might have a fun color. Honey at its base level is very stable. So in fact, honey can be thousands of years old. They've found honey in Egyptian tombs, and what they're finding in there is completely edible today. So because honey's so stable in its natural state, we have to destabilize it. And so what we do is we add water to it, which reduces the sugar content, so that then yeasts can get in there and they can eat the sugar. And so that's what we're doing at this point, right? Is we're destabilizing honey, adding water, and then we are inoculating with different yeasts in order to derive different flavors and create alcohol. So that's kind of the first process that you would do. And at that point, you can add herbs, you could add spices, or you could add fruits, depending on what you're trying to create. This here is telling me that what we have inside the tank is 53 degrees, and we're going to want this as close to 32 as possible, because when we go to can this next week, you want to can as cold as it possibly can get. Fermentation for us lasts for almost 2 weeks, and after we ferment, we will filter our product to sterile, so that there's no yeasts that are in solution. The product then goes through whatever finishing. Sometimes we'll add flavors after fermentation. Delicate flavors do better if we add them post-fermentation. And then we package, and we're gonna package in one of 3 different ways. We're gonna go in bottles, we're gonna go in cans, or we're gonna go in kegs that are gonna end up being on draft, hopefully at a bar close to where you live. The designs and the art for each of our cans, I would like to say that I do them all, but I am not a graphic designer. So we use a couple different designers to help us bring that name that we've decided on to life. It's a process that takes a little bit of time, and we spend a fair amount of money because we're trying to make sure that the time and attention that we're putting into the product that's going inside the bottle or can, it's getting as much time and attention on the design for the outside. So we want it to look as good as the product that we're creating, is really the goal there. The flavors that we have to offer actually is totally expansive, and if you come into our tap room, there's new things on every week. So it's not an easy thing to say one, but a couple of my favorite things. So we have our traditional mead, which is Monks Mead. The only ingredients in that are honey and water. Another personal favorite is something we call stigmata. Stigmata is done with hibiscus, rose petal, elderflower, and then very, very lightly hopped. It drinks like a rosé wine, and it gets a lot of color from the hibiscus and rose petal, so it's actually red in color. That is a personal favorite, and I served it at my wedding. We have something that seems obligatory as a Georgia brand. We do a peach tea session mead. It's called Peach Into the Choir, and it is exactly what I said. It's peaches and tea, and so it tastes kind of like an adult Snapple, and so that's a fun little product that we have. We have a couple different things that are new. We just created a product called Fairy Dew. Fairy Dew is butterfly pea flower, and that we get a bunch of color from that, and it's done with lavender honey, which is really nice. And it's lower in alcohol. So it's kind of like Monk's Mead, but it's purple and it's much more sessionable. So you can drink a lot more because it's only 5.5% alcohol. And then maybe the big one we should talk about is our Dragon Nectar. Dragon Nectar is a monster. It's something that we do for Dragon Con every year. It's something we do for the Renaissance Festival every year. And Dragon Nectar is passion fruit with hibiscus, and then, of course, dragon fruit. So the Renaissance Festival is an eight-week event that goes on down in Fairburn, Georgia, about 10 minutes south of the city. And the Renaissance Festival has been going on for 35 or 40 years, and we partnered with them in 2013-14. And at the time, they were selling a mead that was much sweeter and was not carbonated. And they've seen their sales explode since they started supporting a local business like us. So we're really excited to work with them. We ship a traditional mead down there that's on draft. And then we have 2 different meads that are going to be in cans. So they'll be at different bars during the festival. And our team, we rent a bus and we take groups of 20 people down to the festival every weekend as part of our Renfest party bus. So it's a great way for us to kind of show newbies or even veterans the way around the festival, and it's always a good time.
Wow! That is fantastic! The golden glistening honey taste of this mead is marvelous.
You can definitely taste the cider because it's the mead mixed with the cider, but yeah, it's great. It's very crisp, refreshing.
Wonderful. Very refreshing. Great for summer.
It's going to be great. Cheers. I really liked it.
That was delicious. 10 out of 10. It's my review.
Kind of tastes like Mott's apple juice, I think.
tastes like honey. Very sweet.
Honey.
Kind of savory. Same.
I will get that again. 10 out of 10.
I would invite everyone to come visit Monks Meadery at our tap room here on North Highland. This has been an amazing journey for me. We've only been open for 2.5 years. And I didn't quite know what I was going to do as I was opening this, and so things have evolved. But I'm really, really proud of how everything has turned out.